everyone. Welcome to No Movies in Hell. This is a special episode where we go through our 2023 favorites.
Best of 2023. And they are films that came out in 2023 or recently discovered in 2023. We are here today with our special guest, Deb the Scientist.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I love talking about movies and television. I watch a lot of it, and I made up my list of things I've seen and enjoyed in 2023, and it's very long. So I said, oh, wow, I really watched all those. So yeah, I'm excited to discuss your favorites with you.
Awesome. So we'll start with your top 5, and we'll go in order 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in a round fashion. And then we have space at the end for an honorable mention section. So if you couldn't decide, if you just down to 5, you can rattle off the rest of your list. Let's get started. Deb, since you're our guest, what is your number 5?
Oh, no, I was hoping I wouldn't go first, but I appreciate it. Okay. Wow, this is rough. I'm going to go with Nyad. It was a shock, surprise. Like, I didn't even know what it was. I saw it pop up on Netflix and I watched it and I was like, I am engrossed. I stopped the project I was doing. I watched it and I just thought, wow, what a performance by Annette Bening and Jodie Foster. I love the water. I love swimming. And I was like, this must be so grueling for her to film and be part of. But the story is like, I never heard of it before. So I really enjoyed it. The strong spirit of women accomplishing things.
That's amazing. I don't think I've heard of this film until the nomination was announced. Marketing with some films this year has been quite like under the radar. And also, because of the strikes too.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list to get to before too long.
Highly recommended. Yeah.
Look, wow. What's your number 5?
Oh boy, this is really tough. My number 5 is Past Lives. Celine song. Was just really thrilled that, 1, it's kind of based in New York. 2, it's kind of like this romantic, like I'm not one for romance. I don't like drama. And I really felt like this captured like all the time frames and feelings and things of what if. Yeah, I just thought that this was such a beautiful film. I feel like it's going to be a classic.
I had a hard time picking this like 2023 movies because they're either like these huge blockbusters or they're just maybe movies that kind of went under the radar, but were still really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with not big blockbusters. And I put that caveat out there, even though this movie is a huge blockbuster, but it's the only one on my list. I was so surprised that I liked it. So it's Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't expect it to be good. In fact, I expected it to be terrible because it's about a doll. And I didn't even play with dolls when I was a kid. But I went to see it. They did a great job. And the fact that it made so much money and so many saw it and so many people felt like it really had a message for them was great. So I'm picking Barbie as my 5.
Yay.
I really loved Barbie. I really, really did. That was going to be my top 2, but in the interest of being different, I'll pick a different one. I just think that, making feminism accessible to little girls in the South who would then ask their mom about how this works was incredible. I wish there was a little bit more from Issa Rae. I wish there was a little more intersectional feminism, but we're going to take what we can get. I really loved Barbie.
Yeah. Maybe in the sequel.
Yeah.
Can agree. Enough.
Yeah. And I really like what they did with the existing product, right? Like I don't even remember Alan being a thing, but I thought Michael Cera was great as Alan. I like that they took the history of like the product itself and wove it in.
Yeah, digging into the archive.
Then what's your number 4?
Oh, we already went. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I really liked, and I'm going to put them in the same place. I'm going to pick 2. I'm cheating here. American Fiction and Rustin. I thought that they were great pieces, almost companion in my head, even though it's like completely juxtaposed from one part of, rights and versus what is happening now for Black people, and the way stories are told, and the understanding of what actually happened versus what people think happened behind the scenes, and perceptions, of literature and speeches. And I just really enjoyed the acting. I think Domingo Coleman is phenomenal. So it's like his time. I've just watched him in so many things and enjoyed his performances. So I really enjoyed Rustin, and of course the wonderful, oh my goodness, Jeffrey Wright.
I haven't seen Rustin either, but that is on my list as well. But I thought American Fiction was great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those, when you watch the trailer, like when I watched the trailer, I already knew I was going to like it. Look, wow, what's your number 4?
Oh, gosh. My number 4 is 1001. I really loved this film. The aesthetic was amazing. Tiana Taylor does a really great job. Again, it's like a human New York story about kind of like the underlying pressure of gentrification in the city. I love the 90s, the aesthetic. I love the story, and really hope that there are more stories out there like this. I think women are winning in film, and this one really, if Amazon didn't have it on Prime, I probably wouldn't have seen it at all. So it's like, yay, streaming, but also theaters. It's okay to, swap out something with an indie film and give people a chance to see it. So I highly recommend it. And that is my number 4.
I haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to it. You've given me a reason.
Yeah.
I think it might be out now in AMC, like limited release. I think I
Okay,
saw it
like
the
they're
other day.
just
They're bringing
okay.
it back. Yeah. So I saw it in the theaters when it first came out, but like it was only out for like a week in theaters. But it was great. I didn't know who Tiana Taylor was before that movie, but she does an amazing job in this.
Yeah. I think that she's in, like, I think she's filming a Paul Thomas Anderson film with Leonardo DiCaprio right now, which I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
On the rise, up and coming. That's great.
Yeah.
She's in Book of Clarence, which is out, or just, I guess, was out. I don't know if it's still out.
I can't find it anywhere.
I can't either.
I'm gonna have to stream it. I hope it comes back in theaters. It was literally out for like a week or 2.
Yeah, very limited. I missed it. I blinked.
Chris, what is your number 4?
Number 4. So my number 4 is Monster. And Monster is a Japanese movie. It's by the same director as the movie Broker, which was out in, I think, 2022 and was really good. It was surprising because this director, Broker was a Korean movie, but Monster is a Japanese movie. So when I saw it come up and I saw his name, I assumed it was a Korean movie, but it was not when I ended up seeing it. So it was really great. I think it kind of flew under the radar. I don't think it got a lot of press. When it came out, I did see the trailer a few times when I was watching other movies. I don't know how many people actually got to the theater to see it, but awesome. It's telling a story with different perspectives, like from the different characters involved. I thought it was great.
Ooh, I'll have to put that on the list.
You have a number 3, Deb.
Yes, and I am giving you another bucket. I really enjoyed these bucket of the story of movies, how it came to be. So in that light, there were 3 that came out this year, all of which I thought were excellent for different reasons. There was Air, about the Nike Air Jordans, very enjoyable. Tetris, which was super fun, probably my favorite of the 3, and the Beanie Bubble. And I thought the acting and the portrayal of the time periods, which maybe that's why I'm partial as an 80s baby for all of these very cultural moments and phenomenons that took over. I really enjoyed reliving the time period and the people and the culture and watching, again, products and experiences. So those movies were super fun for me.
That's really cool. I like that genre.
It was very fun. If you are an 80s fan, Lisa Frankenstein is a fun watch.
Yes.
I'm hearing becoming a cult favorite. It's been really ripped apart by the critics. So I'm listening to you instead of them.
Well, we're going to have to review it.
Yes. From the perspective of an 80s fan, it's a fun watch. I'll say that. Yes.
More to come, everyone.
LaCroix, what is your number 3?
Oh gosh. My number 3 is American Fiction, which has been mentioned, but absolutely loved it. Jeffrey Wright, Sterling K. Brown, which is so versatile. He just did it. And I really hope that he's offered more like versatile roles. I mean, I feel like everybody in this film is incredible. And I just love that every single character has a backstory, is fully like formed, and you care about them and you're invested in them and you're invested in everybody's journey here. But it's still this framework that some people have to fit into to fulfill a media's, I don't know, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This movie turns it on its head. Does it have answers? No, but it is entertaining. I really hope a lot of people see it. I found it very enjoyable. And that is my number 3. How about you, Chris?
So my number 3 is Joyride.
Hey.
Which I definitely think flew under the radar. LaCroix, you and I saw it together, but it was out for a hot second and gone. And there were so many other movies at the time that were coming out that got more press that I think people prioritized over this one. But I loved it. And I hope that a lot of people go back and watch it. It's almost to me like Barb and Star. Like I hadn't really heard about it before, but then I watched it and I thought it was amazing. And why aren't they promoting this or giving it a different window of time, like when it has its own space?
I loved Joyride. That was going to be my number 1 honorable mention. I thought it was so much fun. For number 2, I've got 2 again. I really, really wanted to talk about, we had the women showing power and doing things and owning these stories, but we also had a great year of men's feelings and some sort of companion unraveling of toxic masculinity. And I felt that in Iron Claw, as well as Good Grief, which I thought was excellently directed and written by Dan Levy. I don't know if you have any Schitt's Creek fans here. I watched it from day one twice now, and I thought he's just fantastic. It was well acted and really enjoyable, but got to things that men don't typically get to say or act out. And I hope a lot of men watch those movies.
Yeah, Iron Claw was definitely threw me for a loop. It's incredible film.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much going into Iron Claw. I came of age when wrestling was a big deal, but I just never really got into it. But the movie was great. What about you, LaQuan, number 2?
Number 2, a personal favorite. I felt like this year for me, I needed some relief. I needed laughter. My number 2 film is Bottoms. I had really no expectation of this film. I love Ayo. I love Rachel. I think they're funny. I had no idea that like Marshawn Lynch was going to be in this film, and I think he's hilarious. This film has taken that silly, goofy, scary movie type situation where it's like funny in the background, but then you have these characters that are just hilarious and they're hell-bent on just doing a single thing. And then they bring every other character along for the journey. And it's just so funny and goofy. And yeah, I just commend so many of these comedians that are taking a leap and exploring different avenues. And this Bottoms is a classic for me. What is your number 2, Chris?
Eileen. Which also I think didn't get enough time in the theaters. It was very
a hot
under
minute.
the radar. Yeah. But I really liked the 2 actresses in it. I thought they did a great job. I just looking back over my list, almost all of my movies are female led, or you could debate that Monster is female led, but it is, I think. Something about Eileen and the time period and how the interaction with Anne Hathaway's character and the prison. And I just thought it was interesting and not something that I had ever seen before. I know it's based on a book, which I did not read, but I recommend.
Who were the actresses and what was the time period, if you don't mind my asking?
So it seemed like it was like in the 1960s. It was Anne Hathaway, who I'm kind of hit or miss on, but I thought she was great in this.
Cool.
And what is the McKenzie?
Phillips?
No, I know who you're talking about.
She was in Last Night in Soho.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember her name. I'm surprised I got McKenzie in there, but I'll put it in the description when I post this to YouTube because I've liked her in everything I've seen her in.
Mm-hmm.
She's just kind of one of those actresses who she has a very distinctive look. And she was in JoJo Rabbit too. She was the girl in the attic. What about you, Deb? What's your number?
I think LaCroix knows exactly which one I'm about to say.
Do I?
We saw this one together. I thought Origin was the best movie of the year that I've seen. It blew my mind. I hadn't read the book Cast during the pandemic. I heard about it and made a lot of assumptions that it was actually about Cast and that I didn't need to know any more than that. Because I know about those things and I, went to an international school and I accept all of these principles. But the way the story was told and the utility of making, again, these very complex principles accessible to everyone, just like Barbie did, but in a much more raw and emotional way, I would say even. Barbie was fun. And I think that was the appropriate medium to help younger girls and women and boys and men, tell it real simple, understand. And at least ask questions. But Origin, the performance from Ingenue, and was Bennett, is it? Yeah.
Oh, Ingenue Ellis. I think it's Taylor.
Terrible. We watch so many movies, it's hard, but it's just incredible. And I felt so much and learned so much. And being able to do that enjoyably is really rare. So I really loved Origin. And I think absolutely everyone needs to see it. I think, again, it's unfortunately undersung. It's been nominated for nothing, which is shocking. Ava DuVernay this is probably her masterpiece, like everything else, but even better. So I loved it.
It was very impactful.
Yes, it was. See, I see Origin as a 2024 film.
Oh,
and maybe it's because it was viewed this year by me, so it wasn't on my list.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I can give you a 2023 is, I loved Barbie. And that's
No. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Nicole, what is your number one for
this is my number one film. Oh gosh. So it's funny because I feel like there's a spectrum, right? There's Barbie and then you have Origin. Somewhere towards the Origin side would be Poor Things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my number one. I think it was a combination of everything: costuming, cinematography, the sets were amazing. The dialogue is great. Just these questions. You just have questions. You want these questions answered. I absolutely loved the journey that was taken here. I thought Emma Stone did an incredible job. I feel like Mark Ruffalo, I hated him every moment. I think that he's great. I feel like he's like an A24 golden boy. Willem Dafoe did an amazing job. Rami Youssef did an amazing job. Absolutely loved this gorgeous film.
Yeah, definitely. All of the nominations that it has are well deserved.
Yes.
Agreed.
And Chris, your number one.
My number one is Hill Room, another movie that is female led, I would argue. It was fun. It was a caper. It went completely under the radar. Not that many people saw it. I think it was only out in theaters for 1 week. Uma Thurman is the lead actress in it, and her daughter, Maya Hawke, is in it as well. Uma Thurman plays an art dealer, and Maya Hawke is one of the artists that she manages. That was fun to watch them together. And it's kind of a typical caper movie. I wouldn't have said that it would be my favorite maybe in another year, but I think because it flew under the radar and probably not that many people saw it, I wanted to bring it out. It's like, hopefully maybe one more person will see it because I said it's my favorite for this year.
I will see it.
Yeah, I will see it.
Awesome. There you go.
The word caper.
Yes. We don't have enough caper movies, I think.
Don't.
Yeah. Where are the usual suspects of this generation?
Where's the Ocean 11?
Yes.
Right.
Fun. That's awesome. I will definitely watch that. That sounds great.
At the end of our segment, we usually do allow for time for honorable mentions. So if you have any movies that didn't fit into your top 5, lay them out there. Deb.
Cool. All right. I'm going for specific elements of my honorable mentions. So I'm going to say, and meaning no disrespect, but I think we need to be honest about the scene stealing qualities that we haven't maybe seen before of Sterling K. Brown's butt. I mean, they were on it. They showed it to us. There were different kinds of pants. I mean, it was a purposeful thing. And it was another character in American fiction. So I saw it. It was great. Thank you so much. He did a great job with that. Also, the Magic Mike Lax dance scene with Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum. Amazing. I mean, just shocking in the theater. In fact, like, this is great. And they didn't even do anything that bad. It was just really beautifully choreographed, simulated sexuality, but not even sex. It was incredible. I thought that was a good honorable mention. I really enjoyed Dumb Money. I think these films about how things happen put together so quickly, keeping it relevant, was very impressive. It was literally, the year before, and here we have this movie about it because I had no idea what was going on during. So that was helpful. I also really enjoyed, like you said, Chris, Joyride, Gran Turismo ended up being a super fun time. Those are my honorable mentions, and the oddness of various scenes, which I won't get into. I'm sure everyone knows from Saltburn.
LaQuad, do you have any honorable mentions?
Oh gosh, honorable mentions. Theater camp was one for me. I really enjoyed seeing that. Priscilla still has a place in my heart. I'm blanking, but this has been a really tough year for really great films. What about you, Chris? Honorable mentions?
I mean, my honorable mentions are boring, right? Everyone knows, like, Oppenheimer was amazing. Saltburn for obvious, unsayable reasons. But, like, clearly there are a number of movies out there that are getting a lot of attention that I also thought were amazing for the various reasons that everyone thinks they're amazing. So I would put Poor Things on my honorable mention list as well. I just thought Poor Things was so pretty. And we talked about this a little bit, but like it was the visuals were kind of steampunk, but clean. And like almost if the French were going to do steampunk in the Rococo era, that's what it would look like.
Yeah, I'm really glad I had no idea what it was about or what I was getting into when I watched it, when I started, because I was just jaw dropped. What is happening? And I just am on this ride the other night and was floored. So very appreciative, like you said, LaCroix of the dialogue and Chris of the beauty. I mean, yay, go women. I think Emma Stone's going to win.
Deb, do you have anything to plug in this episode?
Not really, but thank you. I appreciate that.
And where can our listeners and viewers find you?
I'm actually on Instagram. I have a private page as well as a Rebel.Scientist Instagram handle for all things explaining science. And I can take, health and beauty product questions anytime.
Awesome. Oh. LaQuad, do you have anything to plug?
Looking forward to reviewing Lisa Frankenstein. And also we have we have our Flame Award winner and we have our awards. So that will be coming up soon.
Excellent.
So much for having me. It was fun.
It was great having you.
Thank you so much, Deb.
See everyone next time.
Will do. Bye.
Bye.